Alright guys, welcome back to the 32nd episode of this review series where I review everything and save the world. For this episode, I'm going to be doing a review on the Storm King's Onslaught. I'll be showing you some gameplay, the best perks, and the best hero loadout. Let's get into it. The gameplay you're seeing in the background is a Parallel 124 encampment. And this weapon, it's really fun. What it does is, if you're not aiming down sights, then it's really fast. It auto fires super quickly. And if you're aiming down sights, then it'll be a bit slower, but it won't overheat. So that's really good if you're running crack shot like I am. Then you aim down sights, you hold down the button, it won't overheat. You'll ramp up that damage. And it's really good. And yeah, so I put a crit build on this, and you may be thinking, this weapon, what it does is it auto aims to the head, so why don't you go a headshot build? And I was thinking that, but like, if I get crits, that crits and a headshot, that'll be so much damage. Like, just pure headshot, sure, that'll be damage, but crits and headshot, oh boy, it's tons of damage. Like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so mainly aim down sights with this build, and if they get a little close, stop aiming for a second, just clear out a bunch, but don't stop aiming for too long, because then it will overheat and your crack shot and Bulletstorm Jonesy, the ramp up damage will all go away. You'll have to start it up again. But anyway, let's get on to the perks I put on this. Alright, now for the perks I put on this. For the first one, you can either have crit damage, cooling rate, crit rating, damage, or fire rate. I went for crit damage because obviously this is a crit build, and the crit damage and crit rating can't be interchangeable on this gun, since the second perk, it doesn't have a crit damage, so this has to be crit rating. So make sure this is crit damage. And then cooling rate, if you're aiming down sights all the time and you're being careful, it never overheats, so you don't need to cool it down. And then damage, sure, it's consistent damage, but it's not high damage. Like, if you wanna get those numbers up, kill like all those enemies, crit is better. So yeah. Then fire rate, I think with fire rate, if you have this, it might overheat faster, but I don't know. But like, why choose fire rate when you can have extra damage? It's just, why? And then for the second one, you can have crit rating, damage, fire rate, headshot damage, or heat capacity. So I chose crit rating because this is the only crit perk I can have in this set. And I didn't choose headshot damage because, as I said before, I think with it auto aiming to the head and doing crits, that'll be so much damage instead of it auto aiming to the head and doing extra headshot damage. Like, just crits and headshots, oh boy, that's a lot. And heat capacity, you don't need this if you're always aiming down sights. And then for the element, you can have energy or physical. If you're going against enemies with elements, choose energy. If you're going against enemies with no element, go physical. Then crit damage, damage to miss monsters and bosses, damage and headshot damage. I'd say don't go for damage to miss monsters and bosses because crit damage is way better. Like, I got 2 crit damages here, doing tons of crit damage whenever I get a crit. And yeah. Then for the last one, we got damage to miss monsters and bosses, fire rate, and impact. I'd say don't go impact. Like, it's not really good whenever you can have a damage perk which does extra damage, like, honestly. And then damage to miss monsters and bosses or fire rate. You can go miss monsters and bosses if you're mainly focusing on them, but I went damage because I'm focusing on everything. But anyway, let's get on to your hero loadout I use for this. Alright, now for the hero loadout I'm using for this. For the commander, I'm using crack shot, which what he does is every time you shoot up to 50 shots, it'll add 2.9 damage to your damage. So like, one shot 2.9, the second shot like about 6, and then it keeps ramping up to 50 shots, and then that's like 145, like 145% more damage, and it's just tons of damage. It's crazy. And if you're never overheating, then it'll stay like this forever, and it's amazing. Then we got Team Perk Blast from the Past. It removes all your shield and increases your max health by 200%. That makes you basically unkillable. You got so much health. And with Saurian Might, every 1 second adds 3% of your current health to damage of the next ranged weapon hit. So that means with this high health, 3% of that is added to your weapon, and it's tons of health. 3% of it, tons of damage. It's crazy. This is from Rex Jonesy. Then we got Saurian Hide by Prehistoric Izzo. While shield is depleted, increases armor by 33, keeping you alive extra, and the extra part to make Blast from the Past activate. Then we got Survivalist by Survivalist Jonesy or Birthday Brigade Jonesy. Eliminations heal you for 39 base health over 3 seconds. Duration refreshes with additional eliminations. So basically every time you kill an enemy, you're getting that health back. And then Make It Count from Beetlejuice increases pistol and SMG critical damage by 75%. SMG bonus does not stack with assault crit damage. So this makes it so my crit weapon, when it hits a crit, it does extra crit damage and just tons of damage. Then we got Startup from Bulletstorm Jonesy. Every shot, it's like Crack Shot, except it's only 1% compared to the 2.9% for every shot, and this one only goes up to 25 shots instead of 50, so it's just ramping up damage with Crack Shot. But anyway, let's get on to the scale. Alright, now we're on the scale, and if you don't know what this is, basically I put the Storm King's Onslaught here, and the garbage, it's okay, or legendary category, depending on how good it is. And this weapon, it's a mythic. Obviously it's in the legendary category. It is just automatic aimbot. It's aimbot, automatic aiming to the heads, and it's so good. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed or something anyway, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because I do these review videos where I review everything and save the world every other day. And also like, comment, and share so that more people can see my videos. Anyway guys, I'll see you next time.